What is going on, geeks and gamers? We are here. We are live. Some of us have probably stayed up all night playing Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War because that's what their life fucking revolves around right now. But we're
Porn and Black Ops
for the Gaming with Geeks podcast, just like we are every Saturday. Let's say hi to everybody here. Lethal Lightning with a new background. It doesn't look like he either is in a fucking insane asylum or he literally just moved into an apartment.
He's frozen.
Oh, am I frozen again?
No, not you.
I was freezing.
Yeah, we know. The fucking foreigners are having issues today. But Lethal, what's going on?
I am out of my lockdown. Australia is so badass. We can do a 6-day lockdown in 3 days.
There you go. It's all about pizza, right? Some pizza guy lied.
Yeah. It's been mixed up. Australia's Pizzagate is very different to America's Pizzagate.
What I've heard.
And there's actually like US politicians replying to Donald Trump tweets using our Pizzagate hashtag, talking about the other Pizzagate, and it's a mess. It's a mess.
That's awesome. Oh, that's great.
We're glad you're here, Lethal, as always. Then we do have Mark. He talked about it earlier. He was freezing. It has nothing to do with him living in the frozen tundra of fucking Canada, and everything to do with his PC master race failing him.
No, it has to do with my console because it was the PC capture card software that I think was making my camera freeze.
Wait, did you say you think? You're speculating?
Well, no, I guess technically yes. I don't have confirmation, but I haven't frozen since I closed the Elgato software. So,
I don't know if I'd stake my entire reputation on something like that, but go ahead, Mark.
That's why I didn't. I added the qualifier.
All right. Well, we're glad that Mark is here as always, and then we have Jeremy himself. What's up, Jeremy?
I denounce Nintendo supremacy. I also denounce PC supremacy, but Titanfall supremacy still reigns above all. So there you go.
There you go. We do have a $2 super chat from Revan. $2. I've never been this early. Ryan, sleep with my wife. Hey, listen, you gotta send pics before I agree to something like that, to be honest with you. But DM me. We'll see what I can do for you.
Ryan Kinnell, he won't even cuck an audience member.
Yeah, I wouldn't even cuck you. Yeah. But yeah, send pics, please. Not of you. But we got some awesome things to talk about. We've already got over 200 people watching, guys. Please smash the like button.
I need to share this out.
Oh yeah, let's share this shit out on Parler. Make sure we get all of the we get the alt left and the alt right echo chambers. Put it on Twitter and Parler. Schnick is saying take a drink. I don't even think that
Titanfall. He has this thing where every time I mention Titanfall, you have to take a drink.
There's actually news about Titanfall today.
Is there?
Yeah, there is. Because it's not fucking working. Let's just get into that while people are still coming in, before we get into our normal topics. I saw this before the stream. Titanfall drops on Steam and immediately faces backlash because it's basically just not working at all.
Titanfall 1?
Yeah, Titanfall. Reviews on Steam are sitting at mostly negative as players are struggling to even get into multiplayer matches. Other bugs, such as inability to load DLC maps, packs, and general audio issues being reported. Basically,
matches might just be a player count thing. Like I said, I recorded a couple matches of Titanfall for my Titanfall 2 review, and it took me like 45 minutes to get into a 1v1 match. And I was trying to get into a team deathmatch game.
Were you getting kicked from multiplayer matchmaking?
Well, I mean, no, it would just be like
people.
finding match for like 45 minutes, and then like I eventually got one player to play with.
Well, that's not what's going on right now, Mark. So according to these people's reports. So I didn't think that was funny, that there's a lot of backlash about Titanfall. It's been plagued by online issues since 2019. A single hacker is responsible for booting players from multiplayer lobbies before they can even get into the game.
I've never had any real issue. Now, is this just on Steam though? So this is Titanfall PC. 1 on Steam?
Yeah,
I believe so. Yeah, it's all about PC players.
The fact that people are still playing Titanfall 1 online at all, it makes me actually kind of happy.
This is a new release of it. It wasn't on Steam like last week, from what I.
Well, then this whole 2019 thing is what I'm confused on. I didn't even know there were even more. I didn't know 5 people were still playing Titanfall 1 online back in 2019. So, either way, if people are trying to play Titanfall in any way, shape, or form, that makes me happy. So
Titanfall. There's a sale though. You can get the deluxe edition.
60%
I'm probably
off.
gonna buy them again. I'm gonna buy it all over. I already own it on Steam. I'm buying the deluxe edition now.
It's on sale right now.
One of the greatest games ever made.
There you go. We do have a couple more super chats, guys. Alex McCarthy for $2 got AC Valhalla and Black Ops Cold War for my birthday. Nice, happy birthday, Alex. I just had a birthday recently, and so did you. So happy birthday, man. Let me know how you're liking AC Valhalla. I'm still getting into it. Price is Right review for $20. What's up, Price? Yo, sup, party animals. I started Cold War as someone born in a Reaganite family. I got to give props to them resurrecting a beloved President Ronald Reagan. I really hope more studios and companies follow suit, ditching politics. I think
that's really ditching politics.
I don't think it's really ditching politics either. But from what I've played in the campaign so far, is there any more than that one interaction with him?
No, I think he's just in the one scene, and then you hear some voiceover of him during the ending.
I do well, but I think there is a level of ditching politics when you're just acknowledging the president as the president and not a political, argument, and I think that's kind of the point that's being made. I mean, if you look at, and I don't want to go too far into it, but if you look at how President Obama was treated by the mainstream media versus how Trump is treated, it's not, they look at one person as the president, the other as an enemy. And they don't just acknowledge the office as the office. And I think that's what he's trying to say in that super chat.
Yeah, that is true. He's presented in a neutral fashion. And
right.
No different. It's actually pretty similar to the interaction you have with JFK in the original Black Ops, where it's towards the beginning of the game, you have like a little briefing that kind of sets up the main campaign, and then off you go. And that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
And then in Black Ops 2, it's kind of alluded that you're the one that killed him.
Oh, well, yeah, actually in the credits of Black Ops 1.
Black Ops 1.
Oh, yeah, like it's at the end of Black Ops. In fact, I might have taken it out of my video, but there's kind of a shot from like the Kennedy assassination, and then it kind of zooms in, and you see like Mason standing there. So it's kind of implied that the sort of MK Ultra experiment made Mason actually kill JFK. It's cool stuff. Black Ops 1's really good.
Yes.
Yeah. What was it? There was a Call of Duty maybe like 40 years ago, maybe more, where they had like the aircraft carrier Barack Obama. It was named the Barack Obama.
That was Black Ops 2 as well, I believe.
Was it 2?
And it because it was because Petraeus. No, because Black Ops 2 takes place both in the past and the future. Yeah. And I think it's in the future segments. There's the aircraft character called the USS Obama.
Yeah.
I mean, like Navy ships are named after presidents, so that's not really that crazy.
Yes, true. Yeah, it's not. Her and the Steadfast Canadian $5. Hell of a Friday Night Tights last night. Keep up the great work, muchachos.
Nice.
Thank you, her, and I appreciate that. Yeah, we had a good Friday Night Tights episode last night. A lot of good conversations. So that was awesome. Paulie D for €229. Cold War campaign is fun. Doesn't drag on. Well, we're about to probably later today, some point, or early tomorrow, we'll drop Mark's campaign review. He played the whole thing. He's going to give you his breakdown of it on the channel. So that'll be good as well. But guys, speaking of video games, we might as well just get into Nintendo right away, because we know that Nintendo has to come up in any stream that Jeremy is a part of because he loves Nintendo.
I love Nintendo. Yes, we have to talk about Nintendo.
Exactly. So, Jeremy, you did a video about this. What did Nintendo decide to do after the presidential election?
Yeah. Well, again, Nintendo is always aloof to a lot of things, but so obviously the Biden campaign used Animal Crossing to promote their, election and everything like that. And so Nintendo has stepped in now and basically banned any companies or political campaigns from using the game to talk about politics or promote politics. And they even get into, they don't directly get into it, but even like the activism, BLM and all of that. They want people to stay away from all of that within the game because they want to preserve the video game experience. And I think it's a great move. Obviously, I think it's a great move. I think anybody with common sense would think this is a great move. No one's looking for censorship, but we are looking for people to keep some type of level of control because how easily things can go off the rails once you bring politics into it. So, and as I said in my video, I fully expect Nintendo. I don't want to see Nintendo ban Joe Biden campaigns or anything from the Democrats and then allow Donald Trump stuff. I want them to be consistent on it. If you're going to keep Biden shit out, which you should definitely keep Donald Trump stuff out as well. Keep that consistency. None of us want this shit in our video games. None of us. It doesn't matter how heavy into politics we are. I'm obviously heavy into politics on my personal channel. I don't need to see Make America Great Again stuff in my video game. Just don't need to see it. Don't want it. And we just live in a divisive time right now where it just doesn't benefit anyone from doing that. So it's a great move for Nintendo. And I even talked about with Brie Larson that they've been uploading videos with her, and Brie Larson's not talking about anything controversial at all. She's literally promoting the games, and she's still getting a shit ton of hate, and it's beautiful because it proves that she's just an unlikable person. It's not even like the Nissan commercial. She made some stupid comments in the Nissan commercial about identity politics, dropped taco and all of that, and clearly that got a lot of criticism. But in the Nintendo videos, she's not doing anything controversial, and she's still getting hate. So, but back to the whole point, yes, Nintendo keeping politics out of Animal Crossing is a huge win, and they just continue to stand up against the BS, and that's why I'm one of the many reasons why I'm a fan. So,
yeah, my recommendation to Nintendo, the only way to make Brie Larson likable is to fucking prop her tits way up in the dress and make her have her smile on Jim. I don't know if they drugged her up to get her to do that. I don't know what, but that is the only way you're gonna make her likable. Other than that, it's just fucking over for her. And I do think it's interesting that they decided to make the push now after allowing the Biden campaign to use Animal Crossing as a platform, basically, which I thought was very strange.
I do think
did they specifically allow it, or did Kind of Funny just do it?
They just kind of took advantage of it, I do think. Look, Nintendo has no vested interest in the United States presidential election. They don't give a shit. They don't pay attention to this stuff. But I don't think it's a good look for them to step in when a presidential campaign is using their platform. I don't think it's a good look for them to step in during the process and ban that from happening. You know what I mean? I don't think that's a good look for them. So I think that they definitely looked at it, weren't happy about it in the moment, but as crazy as the United States politics are, I just don't think it would have been a good look for them to step in during the election and eliminate that when it was only benefiting one party. You know what I mean? I just don't think it would have been a good look. So
there was no Trump side to it?
To my knowledge, there wasn't. There could have been fans that might have done something.
Made one, but
this was an active. Yeah, this was an active decision by the Biden campaign, and I think they got it with a Greg Beta Mail.
It was kind of funny that did it. It was like, I think it was. I don't even know if the Biden campaign had anything to do with it. I think it was Kind of Funny is like, hey, to promote the U.S. election, we're making Biden Island, and it's like, oh, that's the most crazy thing.
Name it from Epstein Island.
I might have to just delete it from X-Ray Girl's Switch just because I'm like, oh god.
yeah.
It was sneak in the middle of the night, watch you sleep, and just
I want to play Animal Crossing. You're not playing Animal Crossing anymore, baby.
There's no Animal Crossing in this house.
Well, and it is a good move. I think I am a little surprised it didn't come early. Like, what I would have imagined is after that, they would have just been like, hey, just so you know, we don't fucking support anything. Because I do feel there were a lot of people pointing to it, but it's good that they eventually did come out and say, hey, we're not going to allow any political statements in the game. Because they have deleted fucking plenty of shit that had to do with China and Taiwan and things like that. They delete it, wouldn't allow people to use those things in the games. Yeah. So that they've already kind of set that precedent, to be quite honest with you. So for them to then allow it to be a platform for the Biden campaign, and I guess it is what it is. But I remember months ago when people were putting Free Taiwan and that she got eliminated from Animal Crossing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
not okay to make fun of the CCP. That is not okay, ladies and gentlemen.
I mean, the consistency is what we're looking for. We're not looking for these companies to pander to one side or the other. We're looking for these companies to have consistency in the process, and nothing good comes from having politics in Animal Crossing. In either side, nothing good comes from it. It doesn't help anybody. Yeah, except for memes. So I think Nintendo's recognized that, and it's a good move on their part. You know, Animal Crossing is it's closing in on 30 million copies sold. It's absolutely insane. I like the game for what it is. I don't play it very much. It's like a Minecraft type of thing. Like I've never played Minecraft, but there's a lot of elements that are similar to Minecraft with Animal Crossing, and there's a lot of different things too. But for what it is, I dig it. It's good stuff. And it's clearly a huge success, and I'm glad they're stepping in and keeping the nonsense out of it. Preserve the gaming experience. That's something we have wanted for a long time. Preserve the entertainment process, preserve the video game experience.
Yeah, Mark actually mentioned he was going to make a blackface Trudeau Island. So now that's no longer. I got 3 face bombs from you guys. That was a triple face bomb. That was incredible, actually.
Super uncomfortable. Remember, I'm a federal employee. Online at least.
Yeah, of course. So that's scrapped, obviously, at this point. Lethal, what are your feelings about this? Do you care?
No.
All right. Well, speaking. Actually, let's hit these a couple super chats real quick. Price is Right review for $5. I was referring, hoping more companies will follow Nintendo in ditching politics in games and give SJWs the finger as well. About time that they grow a pair. Yeah, absolutely, Price. I get what you're saying now. That makes sense.
Why did you turn wannabe Australian halfway through that? Finger.
I don't know. I just giving SJWs the finger. I mean, there's just some words that end in ER that I want to say Australian now because I've been listening to you too much. Finger. Tim 505 for $5. Nintendo is good at staying in games. I just wish they'd be more open with the community. Well, the Nintendo community is fucking cancer. So they're not going to be happy no matter what happens. But I do agree with you that they do keep a lot of things close to the vest, and it results in surprise announcements. What are you saying, Jeremy?
No, I just saw this pop up on my feed. Dragon Kart? What the fuck is Dragon Kart?
Dragon Ball Mario Kart.
No, it's like Dragon Kart for Xbox. It's fucking weird. Anyway, no. Well, the thing is you look. If you have like Nintendo has some weird fucking ways that they do things, and they are aloof a lot of times. They're aloof to a lot of different things. They don't really have their finger on the pulse of the community in terms of they don't really have their finger on the pulse of the community from that standpoint. But again, it's why they're able to continue to make the games they make and stay out of the political weird, nonsense that they stay out of. And it comes with the territory. They just are operating on their own little planet, and they don't really get involved in a lot of the bullshit. They just don't. So I think that's why we get what we get from them. It's why they're able to create what they create and stay as relevant as they stayed all these years, because they are weird and they are strange, and they do make strange decisions that we all sit back and go, "What the fuck are you doing that?" But it almost always certainly, ends up in them making really great games, and that's essentially all we're looking for.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need people. I don't need people to fucking like me. I don't need these developers, these movie stars, these people that create this. Or I don't need them to fucking like me. I just need them to create shit that I like, that I can consume and enjoy. That's it. I don't need them to be like me. I don't need them to be nice to me. I don't need them to hang out, send me nice tweets. I just need them to create good content. That's it.
There you go. You agree, Mark? You love Nintendo,
no, I need
right?
them to like me.
You need to see representation in every single Nintendo game.
I've always been really pissed off that Mario has 2 legs. It's unacceptable.
Would it make you feel better if there's a good chance that Mario was actually Mussolini supporter back in the day?
No, I don't think that would make me feel better, but not for that reason. I don't think we need more Italians to be seen as fascists.
All right. Well, speaking of video games, speaking of woke nonsense, and speaking of games journalists because they fucking suck, let's talk about the Game Awards of 2020, which were recently announced. The nominees for all of these games. The big one, of course, being Game of the Year. Of course. This is no surprise. All right, we'll get to this one last. It's fucking garbage, trash. But Doom Eternal, Mark has to be happy that Doom Eternal was nominated.
I am too.
Final Fantasy VII Remake. Lethal's happy about that. Ghost of Tsushima.
I think we're all pretty on board with that one being reasonable.
100%. Hades. Now, Hades took a shit ton of nominations, and I've heard of Hades. I've never seen anybody playing it. I'm sure Mark knows about it.
I have been playing it. I've been intending to review it. I haven't been able to beat it yet. I came really close to beating Hades the other day, and then found out he has 2 health bars. I really would have been a little more careful towards the end of the first health bar if I knew I was going to have to fight him basically again. But I generally don't like trying to make a review of a game until I've actually finished it. But Hades is really good. I can safely say that, like, for a $30 game, it's on PC and Switch, and it's awesome on both. I actually
what is it like? What game is it like? If you're going to compare it
from
to
a
anything?
Functional moment-to-moment gameplay standpoint, I'd say like Diablo. Like it's like a top-down action game, but it's sort of more like Dead Cells in its structure, where it's like it's permadeath. But the permadeath still, every time you die, you get a bit stronger because there are resources that you carry over from run to run. So the game does get a bit easier as you go. And the way the story's told, essentially you play Zagreus, who's the son of Hades, and you're trying to escape from the underworld. So, and the script in it's very kind of irreverent and funny. So you die, and then you just end up back in the underworld. And people will be like, Achilles will be down there. He'll be like, "Oh, you didn't make it this time, did you?" He's like, "No, got fucked up by a Medusa." And like, it's pretty neat that they work the permadeath into the story in a really good way. The acting's really great. The gameplay's like phenomenal. It's a lot of fun to play. It really is a solid game, and it deserves the nomination, I would say.
Okay. Yeah, it's got a lot of love, and it kind of surprised me a little bit. Animal Crossing nominated for Game of the Year as well. Now, it obviously sold a fucking enormous shit ton, immense amount, but it's really not in the same. It's a very different genre than the rest of these games, but it is up there, so it'll be interesting to see what happens. And of course, you know what's going to happen. The Last of Us Part 2 is nominated for Game of the Year, and in fact, The Last of Us Part 2 received more nominations than any other game at the Game Awards, which should give you some indication of just how the Game Awards are likely to go come December. Yeah. And there's unfortunately, you can go and vote for this. You can go and vote for who you want to be Game of the Year. You just got to make an account and vote. However, I will just say that fan voting only accounts for 10% of the net result. So 90% of this is already determined by the woke garbage games journalists, the same ones that gave this game a fucking perfect score. These same people are the ones that are voting on this. So.
I'm fairly certain Last of Us Part 2 is going to win. I don't see I don't see Doom Eternal winning, even though I love Doom Eternal. And I'm just looking at it from their perspective. I don't see Doom Eternal winning. I think Ghost of Tsushima probably has a decent shot, but I think that a lot of these woke journalists are just going to look at how Ghost of Tsushima was praised against Last of Us Part 2 and think that it's mainly just a bunch of alt-right Nazis that are a fan of it, so they won't give it.
The winners are 100% viewers' choice of the Game Awards, though. So it's like I don't think Last of Us 2 is a lock by any stretch of the imagination, because I think a lot of people did not like The Last of Us 2. I think that by sheer popularity, I don't think Animal Crossing is going to win because I think a lot of the people who play Animal Crossing don't give a shit about the Game Awards. They probably don't know it's even happening. Like it's a very mass market game, and I think a lot of the people who play Animal Crossing, by volume, are like casual gamers that don't play a lot of video games. Not to say that like hardcore gamers don't ever play Animal Crossing, but I think that those people who play Animal Crossing are more likely to vote for one of the other games.
What do you mean by those people, Mark?
The people who play a lot.
I mean
like
those people with 2 legs?
No, people like, well, yes, I guess. People like you who play a lot of video games but also play Animal Crossing. I'm sure your vote probably isn't going to be for Animal Crossing unless you're just...
No, if I had to choose out of the... Because I haven't played all those games, but I would definitely choose Doom Eternal over Animal Crossing.
Yeah, based.
So,
anyways,
yeah.
but the...
So can I just...
Yeah, sure.
So the whole... You just said it's 100% player choice.
Yeah, it's like you log in with like an email address and vote for every category. The nominees, I think, are chosen differently, but the actual winners are just viewers' choice.
That's not true, unfortunately.
So they changed that.
Did you just get lie? You just got called in a lie. By the way,
That's
there's
how
work.
It's been every year. Like,
there's work going on right outside my pool house, so I'm going to be muting these fucking idiots.
If we hear a bunch of Spanish, that's probably the reason. Now,
God damn it.
So, because I wanted to know, right? I want to know exactly who's deciding these nominees, exactly the people that decided to give Last of Us 2 more nominations than any other. And I wanted to look at who is actually going to be voting for it. So the nominees are selected by an international jury of over 95 global media and influencer outlets. If you want to take a look at that, you can see, and it's fucking games journalists, right?
Yeah,
that's who it is. You know, so you go Games Radar, Ars Technica, Game Informer, IGN, Kind of Funny, trash like this, right? That's who's selecting the nominees.
Kind of Funny is involved.
Yes.
Automatically discredited on every fucking level. Kind of we have get more views than Kind of fucking Funny. We get more. Yep. Fuck Kind of Funny.
The only one on there that I think are like legit actually know what they're talking about on a consistent basis are Giant Bomb.
And then they have UK and Argentina, Australia, you know, things like that from all around the world. That's how this comes from. And then that they say, why do you use this jury to select the nominees? Because they're respected games journalists, whatever. Who selects the winners? This is the important part. Winners are determined by a blended vote between the voting jury, those people, 90% and public fan voting, which is 10%. Which is why I said at the beginning, it's already done. Like, sure, 10% could make a difference if it was close, but I just don't know how close it's going to be. These fucking nut job, far left, woke journalists, these fucking garbage people, the same ones that gave these great reviews so they can have Neil Cuckman and Troy Baker on their podcast like the Cuck Greg Miller. These people are the ones that are voting on this, and they are the ones that are determining this. This is exactly like the Oscars and all this other trash that gets put out there, and people like turn around like, really, that's what won movie of the year? Because it's just these elitists voting among themselves. It's gonna be the same thing here. I
think Ghost of Tsushima is going to get completely shafted.
Me too.
Yeah, if I had to give them anything apart from Game of the Year, because it is my Game of the Year, the one thing they should absolutely hands down win is soundtrack, and I think they're even going to get shafted for that.
Yeah,
I don't think it got nominated.
I think Ghost of Tsushima is going to get shafted just because of, like I said, the external reasons in terms of the fan base and how they've used Ghost of Tsushima to criticize Last of Us Part 2 even more.
Even though most people liked Ghost of Tsushima.
I do actually think Hades might be an upset. It might win, because it's really well loved by even a lot of the games journalist people. And I think more people will end up voting for Hades over Last of Us 2 just because they think it's a safe bet from the social standpoint as well. It's well, if we want to vote for Last of Us 2, but we actually didn't like the game very much, Hades is at least an indie game that's pretty well loved and is sort of going for those same points. But I don't know.
So if you had to pick one, because you've played more of these games than anybody, obviously I've played Animal Crossing.
My pick would still be Doom Eternal, but I'm a first-person shooter guy, so
Doom Eternal.
And I haven't played Final Fantasy VII Remake. I've been waiting to play it on PC, so I don't know. That might have been one that would usurp Doom Eternal for me. I'm not betting it. But the real debate between me or between Doom Eternal and the thing that's not nominated, which is Half-Life Alyx. Of the games that I've played this year, it's like, while I think I probably had more fun playing Doom Eternal because it's more familiar for me and like a more intense combat game, which is kind of more my style. Half-Life Alyx is the most unique and incredible video game that I've played probably in the last 10 years. Like it's crazy. So the fact that it's not nominated at all for Game of the Year, I think is it's either telling that they honestly don't think enough people have played it that it will promote views. That they'll be like, oh, like most of the audience hadn't played Half-Life Alyx, so we shouldn't even put it in the nominees. Like that's the only reason I could see them not nominating it. Because I think if you played that game, to be like, you know what, Animal Crossing's kind of the heavier hitter there. Like I can't see anyone actually making that choice, honestly.
Me neither.
Freaking Abby. Freaking Abby.
Both Abby and Ellie were nominated. So you got two best performances from the same game. And
Jin.
Listen, Ashley Johnson as Ellie, well respected. Laura Bailey is an incredibly well respected voice actress as well. But like just the idea, right, that you could they couldn't find one other game to get a nominee from. It ended up being these two characters.
Think of the part in Ghost of Tsushima when you first unlock Ghost Dance, and tell me that it's some of the best voice acting you've heard all year.
That's where I was actually on Angelus's podcast, the Gaming Lounge, the other day talking about this, and this is the weirdest category for me because you got the guy who plays Hades nominated there, which is full on just voice acting. Where all four of the other nominees are performance capture. So I think it's really weird to have like Hades in the mix there because it's like, well, is this performance capture with like facial capture, eye movement, and it's the character, not necessarily the actor or actress alone, because otherwise I don't know that Abby would be nominated. Like the performance capture on it's really good. I don't think the character is fantastic.
Oh, the way she swings that golf club is perfect.
Oh yeah, the motion capture. But I think honestly, this is probably the category that I think Last of Us 2 does deserve its nominations because the performance capture in the game is really solid. I think that particularly with Abby, the biggest knock against that performance is the script. I don't think her character motivations make a lick of sense for the most part. But
I think
oddly enough, except for her killing Joel.
For this specific category, I do think that you kind of need to step away from maybe the personal problems you have with the character. Be like, how was this performance, regardless of what they were asked to do? I do find it strange that I don't know how many people played Najee Jeter or played Miles Morales and got to pick Najee Jeter for this. That was a little bit surprising to me, considering Miles Morales hasn't been out very long. But he gets nominated. So.
It'd be funny if the dude who's the new Peter Parker got nominated.
Oh God. Yeah. And then there's a bunch of other categories on ongoing games. Best indie, which Hades is. I would imagine Hades will win this, even though Fall Guys is there.
Yeah, I think Hades has got to be a lock for that. I mean, if it's nominated for it's kind of the thing with Life is Beautiful being nominated for Best Foreign Film and Best Picture at the 98 Oscars. I remember it being the one that was up against him.
Is Half-Life Alyx even in?
It's in VR? Game direction.
Yeah, it's right.
Oh yeah, it'll win
Best VR.
If Half-Life Alyx doesn't win VR game, I'm calling shenanigans on this whole thing.
No, don't say shenanigans. You call bullshit. Bull fucking shit. Say it.
Shenanigans.
Mark.
God.
Fucking robot.
Half-Life was there for Best Action as well.
Neo 2. Nice. I haven't finished that yet.
Mark, is Half-Life Alyx better than Half-Life 2?
It's not comparable.
Okay.
It's Half-Life 2's the best VR game that exists, and it is
Half-Life. You said Half-Life Alyx.
No, Half-Life Alyx. Sorry. Half-Life Alyx is the best VR game that exists, and it's on such another level than other VR experiences that it's it's why I haven't made a video on it, because it's been so hard for me to actually get a script together that actually does the game justice. Because and I have one in the script that is still not finished. The only line I have that actually makes a bit of sense is cutting away to the joke from The Matrix, where it's no one can be told what The Matrix is. You have to see it for yourself. Half-Life Alyx is that kind of game. It's I could be talking to you about it for 2 hours, and it won't tell you nearly as much as playing it for 5 minutes would.
But you do agree that Half-Life 2 is one of the single greatest games ever made.
Oh, absolutely. And
Okay.
it definitely like
because it
changed
is
the entire concept of video game storytelling in a lot of
yes.
ways.
And I feel like the meme of Half-Life 2 has taken more of a life than the greatness of Half-Life 2, unfortunately. I feel like people don't really understand how great Half-Life 2 was. Like, it is truly, like, if you haven't played Half-Life 2, go pick up the orange box if you're on, console. You can get it for probably $5 at this point used. It has Half-Life 2 and Episode 1 and 2. Obviously it's on Steam, but Half-Life 2 is just it's incredible, man. It really is. So
yeah.
And I'd say Alex is for VR games what like Half-Life 2 was for like first-person shooters, or even Half-Life 1, which changed a lot of the concepts of how first-person shooters are designed. It's amazing how well they lived up to the legacy of that series in an entirely new medium. And I think the only real negative to the game is that it's on a platform that is difficult for a lot of people to access just because of the high barrier of entry. It not being on PlayStation VR is also a bit of a shame, although I don't know how the controller interface would be even halfway possible. But it's really good though. If you get the chance, even if the lockdown hasn't closed them all, if you've got like a VR arcade in your town and can go and pay like $20 to play it for an hour, I would really recommend doing that. I don't think you'll be sorry. Just we got a nice wet wipes.
We got a nice turnout. So if you guys are new here, we do this every Saturday, our gaming podcast every single Saturday. Lethal does look that handsome every Saturday. It's not a special occasion. That's just how he looks.
His hair sometimes actually looks more unkept. In fact, if you can believe it.
I was gonna get it cut, but the lockdown, I was stuck.
Bullshit. Can't even order fucking pizza.
I couldn't even order a pizza. I sent a message to Ryan complaining that I couldn't order pizza because I knew he'd understand my pain.
Yeah,
like ironically, this whole COVID thing started at a pizza shop.
I thought it started at a bat soup shop in China. That's what I heard. But anyway, let's hit some of these super chats. I think all of us on the panel can agree that Last of Us 2 shouldn't win, but probably is going to.
Yes.
I would love for Ghost of Tsushima to get the love that it deserves for both what they did in single player and multiplayer and the reception that it had from a new IP right off the bat. But I don't think it's going to be in the cards, but it definitely is for us.
Did you see if it was nominated for music, sound design, whatever they call it?
It's not nominated for score. It's best audio design, which is a little different, but like the best score. No, Last of Us 2 is though, because they have covers of famous songs in there. Lethal that has a lesbian singing it.
They play an acoustic rendition of "Take on Me" by Aha. So 10 out of 10.
Yeah. And the Ashley Johnson actually sang it. So there it is. Best score.
People are wanting me to plug Half-Life Black Mesa. Black Mesa is a fan remake of the original Half-Life. It's very, very high quality, though. It looks incredible. It's on Steam, and I think it's pretty cheap. And I have played it. I definitely do recommend it. I haven't finished it, so I haven't made a video on it. But it's very good from what I've played so far. So Half-Life Black Mesa, if you want to play the original game.
Was Final Fantasy nominated for voice for best performance?
No.
Oh, that's gonna
not Cloud, not Tifa, no, nothing.
Well, Jessie, the dark horse.
Not Jessie, yeah.
Jessie,
everyone all of a sudden loved, even though she was like a nothing character in the original.
That just shows you it's bullshit, doesn't it?
Yeah, 2Tim505 for $2. I mostly mean fan games and emulators when talking about Nintendo more open with the community. Well, I think that Mark the Cyborg probably completely disagrees with that take. Right, Mark?
In what context about fan memes and emulators?
He wants them to allow. He wants Nintendo games. He wants the emulators to be allowed to be played without Nintendo trying to strike it down.
I absolutely agree with that. Why would I?
It was kind of a joke. It was a joke.
You
didn't pick up.
All
right, Mark.
It was hilarious. I'm sorry. I guess I just don't have a sense of humor. I guess that explains why the rest of the panel was laughing their ass off. When
Sorry, Tars. I'll turn up your comedic percentage. Don't worry.
I thought you said Tards.
Neither of the rest of you
Tars,
laughed.
Tars from Interstellar.
I thought you said Tards. Geeky Pixie for $2. Hello, guys. Good morning. And then blows a kiss. Hello, Geeky Pixie. Good to see you here. Thank you for the super chat. The John Beck for $2. If you hear Spanish, sip of agua for the working man. There it is. Thank you, the John Beck. Yellow Flash 2 in the chat. What's up, Yellow Flash for $5? Fuck, kind of funny. Nothing but former IGN shills. Yeah, Greg Miller is one of my favorite people to make fun of because he is just such a meme.
Yeah.
Like, if you look at him now, the way he looks with the beard, just imagine how fucking soy-filled he looked without it. Like, go back 10 years ago and look at fucking Greg Miller on IGN. The dude is such a bitch. And you know,
I used to watch Greg Miller and Colin Moriarty a lot back in the day. I enjoyed their stuff when they were still part of IGN. Even though I didn't always agree, I liked what they did. But ever since the situation with Colin happened and the joke and Greg Miller and all the kind of funny guys stabbed him in the back over being scared of the mob. It really showed what type of people they are. Greg Miller's a terrible person. So
one of the guys on Kind of Funny was even blaming Colin for Trump winning because Colin supported Gary Johnson.
Oh my!
He's like,
God.
you got them. You got a bunch of our audience to not vote for Hillary. It's your fault. And I was like, okay.
Idiots, dude.
You know, Mark's claim to fame is on the Colin Moriarty podcast.
Yep. He'll tell you about it too. Even though, I'm bigger than Colin at this point. You're more fucking concerned with being on his fucking show, so fuck you.
When's the last time I brought it up? I didn't even bring it up now.
You never fucking go on these fucking live streams. You're like, yeah, I work at Geeks and Gamers. You're like, no, I was on the Colin Moriarty show.
Every single live stream I'm on, I mentioned that I work for Geeks and Gamers. That's how I introduced myself.
I'm fucking with you.
Pauly D
for Canada.
They officially changed some gendered language in the Canadian national anthem, didn't they?
I mean, yeah, people just still kind of sing it how they want, though.
Ooh, rebels.
There's a little bit of a thing going on here about trying to change our national anthem, and it ain't gonna fucking happen, man.
What does it have the word cunt in it?
Did you see the Australian news reporter say cunt on TV?
I did see that actually on your stream. That's the only reason I saw it. It was pretty funny.
Good is it?
Yeah.
Is that what? Yeah, Mark, Dragon Ball chick. Mark be like, yeah.
I have much nicer eyes than that.
What about the lips, though?
My lips are definitely full and pouty. Thank you very much. Thanks for noticing.
All right. Pauly D for €5.49. Last of Us 2 will win best game because saying revenge is bad is super profound. The game wants you to hate it. So daring. Yeah, it's that's how it's been described. It's like, you know that you're not supposed to do this thing. This is a bad thing to do, but it's literally the only way to progress in the story is to do that bad thing.
Yeah.
So then you do that bad thing and everyone in the game tells you, I can't believe you just fucking did that bad thing. Yeah. And that's all of Last of Us 2.
I see the chat still talking about Mark's humor doesn't compute. See, Mark, what you should have said when I brought that up, you should have said, well, Jeremy, Colin didn't have to make 200 fucking Brie Larson videos to get his, subscribers. They actually was earned through hard work. You're just using clickbait.
I didn't have any interest in pitting you against each other.
Just take. God damn it, Mark! I'm trying to teach you how to come back at me when I'm throwing sarcasm at you. And you're like, but I'm not trying to pit you two against each other. Mark, sarcasm.
I am.
Just say Colin is just better than you, Jeremy. That's why I mention him instead of you. Just say that.
I didn't think I needed to explicitly say
that. My God, never mind. Go.
Didn't get that was the joke.
Geeky Pixie for $2. Ghost of Tsushima put Last of Us 2 back on the shelf. They did that to them. You have done that yourself, Neil Druckmann. Because we all know 4 million sold in the first 3 days. We know that was a shipped number because that's how it works. And the fact that still to this day, there's Best Buys that received 175 copies of Last of Us Part 2 that still have over 100 copies sitting there of the original shipment they got. So the sales numbers for this game is all over the place. It completely died out after that first week because they lied to us. Naughty Dog lied to us, told us Joel was going to be a part of this game, told us it's going to be an Ellie Joel adventure. And they lied to you because if they would have told you that it was going to be fucking Man Abbey and Ellie story, you wouldn't have bought it. Those people that had all that nostalgia for The Last of Us would not have come out and bought it immediately if they knew the truth. And so that's why they tried so hard to hide it.
As opposed to Ghost of Tsushima, where you had retailers saying, hey, we can't keep the game, buy it digitally. We just can't keep up with the demand for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On an exclusive as well.
Even though I still haven't played it, I did buy Ghost of Tsushima, and it took forever. It took forever to find a copy. It was crazy. And Last of Us 2, that was never a problem finding that game. It's not that I bought it, but it was everywhere. Just piles and piles. So, but
yeah, and I mean, right now, Last of Us 2 is on sale. Black Friday deals for $30. Ghost of Tsushima is on sale for $40. So. Even winning there too. Now at Walmart, actually, they did accidentally put the price at $19.99 for like 5 minutes the other night, and then immediately changed it back because it was a mistake. But Joshua Trammell for $10. All these people buying PS5, and I'm still buying PS2 games. Medal of Honor Frontline all the way.
You have no idea how nostalgic I am to that game. That game, man, that was like one of the first-person shooters that I really got into. It's funny. It's called Frontline, but the whole game's behind enemy lines apart from the first 2 levels. It's fucking awesome, man.
Old school.
It's fucking awesome. Lieutenant James Patterson, that's his name. Armored Knights, the single greatest first-person shooting level. Armored Knights, Medal on the Frontline.
There you go. PS2 games for the win. You can't find a fucking PlayStation anywhere. There's Scalper. You can get it from a Scalper if you want for like $800, $900. But can't get one. Blue-Eyed Scorpio for $5. Raining some ones on Mark for his full pouty lips.
My lips are full and pouty.
There you go. Thank you, Blue-Eyed Scorpio. Appreciate that. Thank you very much. All right. Now, why don't we get to the game that has taken up so much of Jeremy's time and so much of Lethal's time? Speaking of video games, Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. We talked about it last week on the podcast. I think we're all really enjoying it for the most part, but there's a lot of people that kind of hate this game right now.
Big time.
The backlash for our reaction to it.
I mean, there is a lot of hate, and I'm actually going to release a video here on the channel talking about, everything that's going on with the criticism. Look, I'm not coming to you as I'm not a Call of Duty expert. I'm not a casual Call of Duty player. I fall in the middle of the casual Call of Duty player versus the expert, and so I've played Call of Duty for a long time. My DDayCobra name comes from playing Call of Duty back in the day, Modern Warfare 1 and 2. We had our little, crew that would run the game, and I fell off of Call of Duty after Black Ops 2. Modern Warfare 3 was still a good game, but that's where I started to really fall off. And then Ghost is where I completely just was like, I'm done. And then we got into Advanced Warfare. What else do we have? Black Ops 3, 4. What was the other one? There was Infinite Warfare. I hated all of those games. And Modern Warfare 2019 kind of brought us back. And even then, though, that game had a shit ton of criticism upon launch. Every Call of Duty game gets criticized to hell and back. It absolutely does. But then Black Ops Cold War, I was really excited about this game coming off of Modern Warfare 2019. Obviously, Treyarch is developing this one. And I've been very happy with it. Yes, there are good there's criticisms that we can share about the game. The game crashes a lot. We've had a lot of problems connecting, a lot of issues. We lost 45 minutes the other night trying to connect.
Well, have we had that problem on console?
I've had issues connecting with Xbox players while I'm on PlayStation.
I have, yeah. I had problems connecting to an Xbox player when I played last night. And obviously the crossplay between console and computer PC people.
To be fair, it seemed to sort of just be Uche. like I was having no trouble getting into games with you guys. It was just every time Uche would join the lobby, you guys wouldn't be able to join, or like vice versa, until we eventually got into the game and it was like laggy as hell.
Yeah. Well, Krista had some problems initially with it too. And we can never see Mark. Mark's always fucking disappeared. So the crossplay, there are definitely issues with it. But as far as the game itself, I'm having a lot of fun with it. And it's different from Modern Warfare, and it's meant to be different. It's from a different group of people making the game.
It's simpler.
It is simpler. We were talking about it a little before the stream started, but I think it seems scaled back a little bit. Maybe it doesn't seem quite as highly detailed, and like Lethal mentioned, it is a different engine that they're using, which is why it looks like that. But it's meant, the map design is such that it's very simple and makes you funnel in. It's very fast paced, and for someone like me, who literally all I want to do is go out there and run around and shoot people, it works for me. I know Jeremy's kind of the same way. I hate these little camping bitches, and Modern Warfare kind of did promote camping.
It did. Vertical Horizon says the game chat is so broken, even in party chat, it affects it. That's something that we haven't experienced because we use Discord. But if that's a problem in the game, then that's something I definitely think should be noted. We haven't experienced that, at least I haven't. If you guys, because we all use Discord, so we haven't. You gotta be a crazy person. You got to be a crazy motherfucker to get in game chat lobbies at this point. You have to be a psychopath, because all it's going to be is people bitching, complaining, and playing fucking music. That's all it. That's all it. I like the
name of Lethal. Lethal was when in a party or something with a couple other, not in a party, but was playing with them. He sent a screenshot to our Game with Geeks group. I won't mention the names of the people he was playing with, but I don't know if PlayStation, I don't know if Sony would be very happy if they knew that people with those kind of usernames were out there on their platform.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I kind of wonder did it say which platform they were playing on?
PlayStation.
Oh, really? Yeah, because I thought PlayStation was pretty strict about like what your actual username is. But
you can't have the name Drunk 3PO, but you can have
some of the ones we saw. Yeah, I don't know. We get it, but use your imagination.
There was one that I saw with Jeremy and Uche. Definitely not saying what it was called. We saw the play of the game, and we're like, "Holy fuck! How is that not banned?" Like all of us were like, "That's a spicy name, man."
Mm-hmm. Very
Cold War based.
Yeah. But yeah, like okay, so the maps are smaller. They are not as detailed. I understand that the graphics aren't as crisp as Modern Warfare. I'm not disputing any of that. But overall, the more I didn't like Satellite when we first started playing the game, and the main reason I didn't like Satellite is because those fucking snipers and those heals, they were fucking me up. But then once you learn how to maneuver through it, it's actually a pretty fun game of cat and mouse to actually try to go after those snipers and those heals. And it's really enjoyable. So once you kind of learn that layout of that map, is really fun. The rest of the maps, look, Miami is shit. All right. Miami is a fucking bad map. That's one of the worst maps. I don't want to be hyperbolic here and say it's the worst map ever in Call of Duty. It's one of the worst maps from a gameplay perspective that I can remember in multiplayer. Yes, Piccadilly is terrible as well, Mark. I'm not going to leave that one off the hook. But Miami's trash. If you exclude Miami from it, I like all of the maps in the game. They are more simplistic, which I think is better for gameplay, and it doesn't have the camping aspect as much as Modern Warfare. I do believe Modern Warfare 2019 is a better game, objectively speaking, but I'm enjoying Black Ops for what it is. And with Nuketown coming in now in the next couple of days, I think that's going to be huge. The rumors, and I posted this to the chat the other day, but apparently Firing Range, Summit, and Jungle are going to be in this game. Firing Range apparently has been confirmed, which in my opinion is the greatest Call of Duty map ever made for multiplayer. It's the most balanced map. If we can get Firing Range, Summit, and Jungle to add to this game along with new maps, I'm 100% in on this game. I'm very much enjoying it. The criticisms are out there. Maybe they're valid, maybe they're not, but I don't share a lot of these criticisms.
I personally think Black Ops has a better multiplayer than Modern Warfare, and I put a lot of hours into Modern Warfare.
Yeah, Lethal's played far more of it than any of us for both Black Ops and Modern Warfare.
Absolutely.
I think I still lean towards Modern Warfare being better, but not by a lot. But I don't know. There's something about the like how responsive the actual shots are on target, or how reliable it is that the thing you're aiming at and the spot that you're even accounting for, like recoil and bullet drop. It seems a bit more random in Black Ops Cold War than it did in Modern Warfare. I felt like I could more consistently fire and know what was going to happen. But I don't know. I mean, like, I'm not like a huge Call of Duty player that is like putting in the amount of time that like Lethal and even Jeremy would be. So I'm not sure that I'm really the guy to say that. But yeah, okay. Actually, Deathbrew just said hit registration. That I think is a little off to me, and that it feels a bit weird at some point. As a JR though asked me what's my opinion on the campaign. I think the campaign is pretty great. My video should be coming out relatively soon, and it's super short. But if you were buying the game anyways to play like the multiplayer and zombies, don't skip the campaign. Like definitely play it. It's really solid.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing too is they nerfed the M16. First of all, they nerfed the MP5. The fucking MP5 needed to be nerfed. My God.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, I didn't use the MP5 just because I heard it was so good, and then I finally was like, let me just use this gun to see. Oh my God, I was mowing people down. I'm like, this is ridiculous. The range on that gun was stupid. Then they nerfed it. I had already moved on from it, and the FAMAS is a gun that I've really used a lot in Black Ops 1, and I was glad that it's called the FFAR in this game. They've nerfed that one last night along with Lethal's M16, and yeah. Now I've played with the FAMAS since the nerf, and they definitely affected the distance of the gun. But I'm still playing very well with it. I'm not gonna move away from that gun. That's gonna be my go-to for the foreseeable future, as long as they don't do anything else to it. I think I'm gonna be able to run with that one. But Lethal, how have you been operating? Did you change guns, or are you still running the M16 after they nerfed it?
I tried it just to test out the nerf. They've definitely reduced the range on it, but it's still pretty good. I'd say it's a lot more balanced, to be fair, but from range, 100% notice the difference. I'm only getting 5 kills when normally I was getting 6.
Okay.
Well, one thing I will say is that there's doesn't seem to be a big selection of guns. I think Lethal mentioned it the other day.
Yeah,
it's really not. There's
really not
a big selection of stuff. I would say, what is there, like maybe 5 or 6 assault rifles?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 5 or 6
3
assault
snipers,
3 snipers, 2 shotguns, 3
yeah.
pistols, 4 tac rifles, and about 5 SMGs.
Yeah, like 2 shotguns. Like in comparison to Modern Warfare, when obviously now there's like fucking 14 assault rifles or something, but when it launched, it had what, 9 or 10 at least.
Some of that might also be because
7.
when you're setting a game in a modern setting, you've got more options for, like, obviously, like, because you can
That's
have
true.
guns from the 70s,
That is true.
from the 80s,
That is
but
true.
also modern weaponry. But not every gun that existed in the 80s is in this game already, though. So, like, I don't know that I can really give it a pass on that.
And again, if you guys, we are going to be streaming this game a lot over on Twitch. And at some point, we're probably going to stream together for this channel when we can get the crew together. But if you guys are not following us on Twitch, at Geeks_and_gamers, go ahead and do that. And I think Krista and Lethal are working on trying to get another stream set up here very soon. We're going to be streaming this game a lot.
We might be able to get Krista to do a swear finally.
Well, did you guys see the chicken video?
I did. I noticed her landing those shots because she was angry.
This is funny. Like, so this is what's happened to Krista with there's on Cartel, there's chickens on the map. And the first time she played the game with me, we went over there, she saw the chicken, so then I went and found it and shot the chicken and killed it. So now she just protects them now. So this is what happened.
There.
Losing B.
No. My chicken. Better not. I see you up there. There.
That's what she's doing.
I didn't even know that's where the chicken was. And I'm just gonna, whenever we play with her, I'm just gonna fucking toss a grenade there every time we're on that map. I can toss a grenade and run.
She's actually, this first Call of Duty for her, she's actually doing really well. Her and X-Ray Girl. Is this X-Ray Girl's first Call of Duty?
She used to play Black Ops 2 quite a bit, I believe.
Okay.
Back on PS3, but which is the reason why I was like, hey, like, you want to play with us? And then it was on sale on Humble, so I just picked it up for her on there.
I was disgusted a little bit at how good Krista was doing, honestly. So fucking, it made me sweat a little bit.
Yeah, she last night I was watching her a little bit on Twitch, and she still runs through, like, they were playing domination. She's just like running through and it's like it says capping, and then she keeps running. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Play the objective.
Whereas me and Jeremy spend half the game running around trying to sneak into it at the last second to get those fucking 50 points.
Yes. Yeah. All me and Ryan do is worry about beating each other. It's so fun.
Literally
that's all we care about.
So. I will say the scoring, the point scoring, you can just go on a little streak, and I feel like the point system isn't really reflective of how well you play in multiplayer, to be honest with you.
That's because the like, if you're on a 5 streak, you get more points. Yeah. And then if you're on a 10 streak, you get more points after that. So forth.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is I can have a fucking shit. Look at Lethal. I can have a shit game, but I have one little run where I get 5, and I might get 1,200 points or something in that little like 30-second run, and then I play like dog shit the rest of the game, and I might get more points than Jeremy. That's happened a couple times. I got more points than Jeremy, who had a way better game than me, but just never got on that 5 kill streak. Mm-hmm. So it's really weird.
Sounds like a Jeremy problem to me.
Well, it's a me problem when I lose. It's a Jeremy problem when he loses.
I mean, we may play. Sure, we're going to play. I'm going to be playing the game tonight. I don't know if we'll be streaming it, but we're definitely, there's going to be a lot of streaming of this game. There's no doubt about it. So we're all loving it. The other night we had, a bunch of people playing it. We tried to stream it on Twitch, and Uche's Boost mobile connection didn't hold up. But look for a lot of streams from us for this game and Modern Warfare. We're still going to be playing Modern Warfare 2. The internet reaction to this game, though, has been very interesting. And again, it happens with every Call of Duty, but like I saw the quartering talking about the Metacritic reviews. Fucking Metacritic reviews. Metacritic reviews. Modern Warfare has a worse Metacritic right now than Black Ops.
I love Metacritic. Thank you, Metacritic. I was able to make 80 videos on Last of Us 2 thanks to Metacritic. So thank you, Metacritic. I love you. I love Metacritic. Let me check out some of these super chats, guys. Miss Martin Muses, Teresa is here with a rose super sticker. Thank you very much, Teresa. And then Jason C for $1.49 with a phallic unicorn. Actually, Teresa, I got something from Teresa. I might as well show it here. I was going to show it on my stream tomorrow. I will show it then as well. But listen, there's been people that have fucking sent me Baby Yodas, and I fucking just despise this garbage. This is the first Baby Yoda that I can say I've been happy to get. Teresa actually knits Baby Yodas and sends them to people, which is one of the most evil things I can think to do. But this is the one she sent me, and I absolutely love it. Let me full screen myself here real quick. This is a custom one, a custom Baby Yoda just for me. He's obviously dead, has like a knife shoved in his head, and I just love it. So thank you, Teresa. I will cherish this. I will protect it for the rest of my life. Thank you. I hope she's still in the chat to see it.
That's pretty awesome.
Revin for $10. The biggest problem in Cold War is skill-based matchmaking.
Yes.
Maps.
Yes.
How many times have we done a lobby where I've said, no, why don't you guys host?
Yeah, no, seriously. Like I will play a match, and I'm like, motherfucker, I'm fucking badass. And then next fucking lobby, I'm getting fucking roasted. I'm like, I can't even, it's unplayable in this lobby. It's just, there's no consistency to this process of how they've got skill-based matchmaking. It's terrible. You either end up on a lobby of shit people that can't understand any basic concept of the game, or you end up in a lobby where these motherfuckers are virgins and they've never seen a vagina. They don't even take time to watch it on the internet. They're just so concerned with prestiging, and it's just insane. So I don't know what the answer is.
Ranked mode and casual mode.
Stage, Jeremy. Thank you.
The answer is just have a ranked mode with skill-based matchmaking and a casual mode that's just random matchmaking, like every other game ever.
Yeah, that's true.
Jeremy, you should use that skill-based matchmaking rant that we have in your video.
Which one?
From the beta.
Just now?
Oh God! Don't use that one. I went I had the worst fucking match of my life on that one, and then Lethal keeps bringing the score up, and it's like, oh my God! Don't use that one.
What about that one where Mark had a 0.14 KD? That was pretty good.
We can't blame that one on SPM. We can't do that.
I've been right around there before. So.
Well, to be fair, Lethal, you were hosting that lobby, so I kind of can blame you on it.
See what I mean? It's like, everyone join in.
That's the thing, though. Like when I play by myself, I do way fucking better. And then we get together when one of you guys are hosting who's better than me, and I get fucking wrecked. So yeah, it is what it is. Skill-based penalizes you for being good at the game and makes you sweat 24/7. And every map outside of Crossroads is garbage.
No, that.
I'm good. I'm good with the maps.
I like our Armada. Is that the ship Armada? I like Armada a lot. I like Cartel. Crossroads is good, obviously. Trying to think of the names. Garrison. Garrison's good. Satellite's good. Yeah, everything really. It's Miami. Miami's shit. Miami is and again, it looks nice. It's a good looking map. It's that it does not benefit from the gameplay standpoint from multiplayer. It is fucking bad, and it's big. It's a massive map. You spend a lot of time running, and I hate that map. Despise it.
But I do really like the control game mode. I think that's fucking awesome. I reckon that's like one of the best things they've brought into this game. I love that mode.
Yeah, control's cool for sure.
And then Revan for $20 adds, they need to add firing range, summit, raid, slums, standoff, fringe, beach, and or stronghold. The game would play perfect on on all those OG maps. Also add maps from World at War, like CeeLo and Roundhouse for ground war.
I love Summit. Yeah. Summit's one of my favorite maps ever. I don't know. You guys remember Summit from Black Ops 1?
Yeah, it was in 4 as well.
Okay, was it? See, I didn't play enough 4. 4 turned me off so quickly. Which one was firing range into? I mean, I know firing range was in the first one.
I think firing range has been in all of them, hasn't it?
So
I don't know. I didn't play Black Ops 3 really. But,
yeah, 3 and 4, I really checked out on them. So but Summit has just got such a good layout, and it's so the way that the spawns are, it's so balanced, and the same with firing range. So I hope we get both of these maps. Jungle's actually a good map too. I like Jungle a lot. So those 3 are the ones that I really want. So yes, Summit is goated. That's right, Caleb. Summit is goated. Black Ops 4 was the most awful COD in the last 3. 3 and 4, really, I hated both of them. So
I just didn't like. I played a bit of 3 when I first got my PlayStation. I didn't like the whole jetpacky jump moving stuff, and I didn't like how like the hero abilities, like it was Overwatch style.
Fuck that
I didn't
trash.
like that. Yeah, no, that didn't click with me.
That's not Call of Duty. Well, speaking of video games, everyone. I'll check that out. Speaking of video games, Cyberpunk 2077 is almost here again. So Cyberpunk 2077's been putting out a lot of stuff lately. They did another episode of Night City Wire, and also released some more gameplay. Now, I know that Mark and Lethal were probably pretty intent on that. I actually have missed a little bit of it. I saw a screenshot that showed Johnny Silverhand. Is that a real screenshot from the game?
Yeah,
Mark?
it is. It's the Xbox One version. That's a low res screenshot though. I think I sent you the meme that's Johnny Silverhand and Craig.
Yeah,
pretty good. But a lot of people are comparing it to like the initial reveal of Johnny Silverhand, like the You're Breathtaking moment. Yeah. That trailer was like a CGI cinematic, everybody. Like everyone's like, oh, like look at the downgrade. It's like, no. Like you guys are comparing a pre-rendered CGI cinematic that was for marketing with like in-game screenshot of real-time rendered game. And it's not going to look as good. Like the pre-rendered one looked like Keanu Reeves, whereas the the in-game one looks like an Xbox One character who's modeled after Keanu Reeves, right? And so I think that the like Cyberpunk's been downgrade thing is definitely very overblown. That being said, doesn't look fantastic. So I don't know if it's just a really low-res screenshot that's going around, but there is that gameplay video that they did that Night City Wire special where they show the Xbox One X and Series X versions running, and looks all right. They're still like only showing the game in 30 frames a second, so I don't know if the Series X is running it at that frame rate, but I'm just really looking forward to the game coming out so I can play it at a decent frame rate.
That's all that Mark cares about.
It really is. It's the reason why
graphics are dog shit. He just wants frame rate.
Well, I think that the frame rate does make the graphics look like dog shit. Like, and but I don't think any of the marketing materials for Cyberpunk have looked fantastic at any point. Like this is not a game that I'm like, oh man, look at these graphics. This game's going to be incredible because of them graphics. It's like no. It's going to be good because CD Projekt's really good at making like immersive RPGs that have a lot of options and good writing. That's the reason. It's not the graphics you're going in for.
Yeah, it's true. What about
Can
you?
we agree Holly looked fantastic?
I mean, does she ever not?
That's all Lethal cares about.
She's beautiful.
Lethal doesn't give a fuck about Cyberpunk. All he cares about is Holly Bennett. Is that her name?
Yeah.
All he cares about is Holly Bennett.
Holly. Now, I thought the new trailer looked pretty good, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
I liked it.
So are we guaranteed, or do we feel like this game's definitely coming out
at this point?
They kept saying December 10th, like they went out of their way to keep saying it during this Night City Wire.
And the lots of mainstream outlets already have the game. So, I mean, like places like IGN are probably like working on their reviews right now. So I can only imagine that means that it's a pretty good chance. That being said, I'm not putting money on it. Because I don't think it's impossible that they'll once again say, yeah, let's actually push it back a bit because I don't know, the base Xbox One, base PS4 versions aren't running great. That's definitely a possibility, but I think chances are probably pretty good that it's going to come out December 10th. Is it going to launch flawlessly? Probably not, because I'm willing to bet they didn't fix every single problem that they had, and a lot of the impressions, because the game, like I said, has gone out to a bunch of outlets already. The impressions are saying that like there is some jank to the world. Like it's not like a flawless, super polished game, but it also, a lot of the outlets were saying that this game not only lives up to its expectations, it will like surpass a lot of them. So it's pretty positive for the most part. Not necessarily people that I trust wholeheartedly. With
the same ones that gave Last of Us 100.
Yeah, like they rate on a scale of 6 to 10. That's actually in my script for this when I say Wire recap. But it is at least looking decent that the game will hit its release date.
Yeah, I think that at this point, I think the backlash was so immense that backlash on their stock as well was so immense that they will release this game December 10th, regardless of whether it's ready or not. That's kind of how I feel at this point.
So what do you think? There'll be like a 60 gig update within the first week of launch?
I don't think the game file is going to be that big. I think that's like almost.
I don't know.
Exclusively.
I don't know. There's 2 discs for the game. It's just the game itself. So that update could be fucking monstrous.
Yeah.
Because the game went gold quite a long time ago. And they've still been working on that day one patch. So I think it's going to be pretty sizable. I don't know about 60 gigs, but.
Well, that was just
Yeah. It's going to be interesting. I'm really looking forward to it. I really want this game to be everything we fucking hyped it up to be. Now,
it's not. This game,
exactly.
I'm really looking forward to it, but it is hyped into the next fucking dimension, and it
won't be. It definitely won't be at launch, and I think that's going to be the big problem. Is people are going to have this. I think once it's all said and done, 3 months after the release, I think it will become that game that everybody is expecting it to be, but it's going to get so hurt by the launch because there's going to be problems and it's going to be constant complaining, constant bitching. And I think that's going to hurt the perception of the game. So again, that's my prediction based on how everything has gone because of the multiple delays and the expectations are through the roof. So, but I think this game's ultimately going to be a fantastic experience. I just think it's going to be a rough start for it.
I think the expectations thing is partially going to be curbed by whose expectations you're talking about and what they think this game is. Because I think that, again, like going by a bunch of the impressions, which is pretty much what I expected, is that the game's very much like an RPG. It's like an immersive sim where you can kind of approach things from a bunch of different angles, do a lot of talking, do a lot of exploring around, do a lot of like hacking computers and things like that, and not a lot of running and gunning. Whereas I think there's people out there who think this is going to be Doom Eternal with cyborgs. And I like, it does not seem at all like it's going to be a game that is like shooter first, RPG second. I think it's very much a role-playing game where the combat is shooting. So I think actually if you look at it more like Fallout, probably going to play better than Fallout and be better written than most Fallout games, but more like Fallout or like a Deus Ex game than, like I said, like a full-on action shooter, then I think most people will be more satisfied by the final product than if they're expecting it to be a run and gun action shooter. Because apparently the intro to the game, like the prologue chapter, is about 4 to 6 hours long before you even see the Cyberpunk 2077 logo in game.
Damn.
So apparently there's not a lot of combat in that unless you're like going out and specifically picking fights. So I think some people might get a little bit pissed off to be like, wait, like this game's just walking around and talking to people, like. And one thing that I did find kind of interesting from an impression I heard was that there doesn't seem to be any penalty for theft. Like you can just like steal shit or like steal like a work truck with like people doing road work right beside it and they don't even react. So I think stuff like that might be kind of funny to see, but I don't know. I'm still
no one's gonna run up to you, try to drag you out of the car.
Yeah, like that's the other thing. Apparently, this is not like GTA Night City. So, and a lot of people I think have been making that comparison when they've seen some of the gameplay videos of just like driving around. They're like, "Oh, it's driving around and it's an open world city, so it's exactly Grand Theft Auto." And I think couching it more like a Fallout game than a Grand Theft Auto game is probably going to get you closer to where it's actually going to land. But knowing the CD Projekt, I think the real meat of the game, like the thing that's going to make it actually special, is going to be stuff like the quest design and the story and the voice acting and the script and the side quests. That's the stuff that I think is really going to put this game over the top. And those are probably not things that you'll be seeing from people's initial impression over the first couple days, because they're just going to be like, oh, I thought I was going to be running and gunning and like giving myself robot knife arms and stuff. And
do you have a robot knife arm?
No, well, that a gentleman never asks and a lady never tells. Lethal.
Which one are you?
That's a joke. Yeah, I'm the one.
That would make you the lady.
Yeah,
you hitting on me?
Oh God, yeah, and I'm the one who doesn't get jokes, right? People, come on, let's move on.
Jeremy's fucking muted, but he's just fucking talking shit. Yeah. Fucking dumbass.
Fucking well, it's because these fucking assholes are out here doing work. I'm a goddamn internet celebrity, and you motherfuckers are ruining my shit.
Somebody's gonna clip that.
I need that for real.
Yeah. But no, I don't remember what. I said I turned Tar's setting way up. Way up now. He's operating on fucking comedy levels that we don't even understand now. So I have to dial it back, Tars. Have you all seen Interstellar?
No. Bits and pieces.
Yes. I have. Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, because you're the only one that gets the joke and you're not too fucking like you can't even laugh at shit because you're such a fucking robot. So my jokes are falling flat because these motherfuckers don't get it. So.
All right, fine. Skynet takes over. Jeremy will not be spared.
Yeah, that's why I thought you said Tards earlier, but evidently
I am disabled.
Adam Wofford for $10. So how many of you guys are taking time off to play Cyberpunk 2077? I know I wish I could. Also, COD Black Ops 1 and 2 are awesome for the connected story, especially the ending of 2 is funny. So as far as taking time off work, it's not something that's not something I am gonna do to play a video game, to be honest with you.
My work is shut down.
Yeah.
China is asshole.
I think Mark is, though, or if you can, right?
Technically, yes. I didn't really intend to, but our Christmas leave breakdown, like we have to take a certain amount of time off during Christmas because the clinic closes down anyways, and we have 25 annual leave days a year that we need to burn somewhere. And so I just made it so that instead of tacking my extra days on the end that I normally do in January so that I can come back a little bit later, I just made it a little bit earlier. So I'm getting off on like the day before the game comes out.
whatever happened to Ivan? Are you guys really not following us on Twitch? Ivan came back. He was on our Mario Kart stream last week. He's going to be on the Mario Kart stream every Sunday, playing Mario Kart with us. He's also, we just released a premium video with Cooking with Ivan, where he's showing you how to cook a meal like it would be The Last of Us Part 2. We released that for premium members. That was sent out yesterday by email. Ivan is back. Ivan is here. Ivan's part of Geeks and Gamers. He never actually was not part of Geeks and Gamers. He just, had real world, real life stuff going on, and he needed to take a step back from things. But Ivan is here. So
there you go. So is Kathleen Kennedy. Hello, Kathleen. Wolfsbane for $5. Hey guys, what do you think of the movement in FPS or in first-person shooters like Halo and COD? Do you think it caused a lot of problems over the years in multiple entries?
What do you mean?
Movement.
I don't understand.
What do you think of movement in FPS?
Probably talking about things like the advanced movement they've been putting in, like the Titanfall 2 stuff.
The double jumps and everything.
Yeah, double jumps or sprinting in Halo is kind of a big thing.
Yeah, fuck that.
I'm back and forth on some of it sometimes. I think every so often it makes the games more fun to play, but I don't think it was a good fit for Call of Duty at all, really.
No.
And Halo, I like the way Reach handled it, where sprint was like one ability that you could pick of like the armor abilities. You could get like sprint, armor lock, the bubble shield, and you had to pick one. Whereas from Halo 4 and 5, they made it so that you can just sprint whenever. And I think that has definitely changed the way Halo multiplayer functions. You're thinking that sprinting would be better because it would be nice to be able to run when you need to run. Yeah. But the thing it does is it gives you an option to like leave combat and prevents you from having to like stand and fight the way you would in like Halo 1, 2, 3, and to an extent Reach. So I don't know. It's not universally like advanced movement bad or advanced movement good. I think it's kind of a case by case thing. Works really well in Titanfall.
Well, yeah, I think Titanfall it's fantastic in Titanfall, but I think Call of Duty tried to bring some of those Titanfall elements into their gameplay, and it didn't work. That wasn't something that you needed to do. Like what Titanfall was doing, they did well. And it worked for their environment, but it didn't work for Call of Duty. It actually hurt Call of Duty significantly. So, I think just getting it back to the basics. And now I've never been. I love the Halo games more so. It's funny because with Call of Duty, I'm more into the multiplayer. With Halo, I'm more into the campaign. So I was never into the multiplayer for Halo, but I understand like the sprinting in Halo was a big problem when they added that. Get things back to the basics of what made them successful and stop trying to add shit that made other things successful, because just because it worked for Titanfall or another game doesn't mean it's going to work for your game that was already successful.
And it doesn't necessarily mean it. However, and make sure you get back to Blue Eyed Scorpio, Mark.
I just messaged him back. I have so many like random PlayStation DMs where it's like, "Hi, do you have a girlfriend?" that I just like stopped checking them. It's all just like sex bots. No, they're not real people. It's probably.
Have you not figured out that 99.9% of everything Blue Eyed Scorpio says is sarcastic as fuck and is not meant to be taken seriously?
No, he actually said that though. He sends me PlayStation DMs all the time as well.
It doesn't matter. He doesn't. No, we don't take anything he fucking says seriously. He has not earned that right. So he's got to qualify it.
I will say that, like, specifically for Call of Duty, like introducing those things, trying to be something else, didn't work very well for them in the multiplayer, and getting back to basics did. However, that doesn't always mean that that's a bad thing. We're all enjoying Call of Duty Warzone, which was taking a battle royale and, bringing it to Call of Duty, which there were some people that were fucking really resistant against that as well. But all in all, it's been pretty fucking successful for them. So it just kind of depends what it is, but for sure when these games change some characteristics that seem very true or very rooted in what that game is about, there's going to be backlash. That's what we saw.
Because the game starts to lose part of its identity. Like when I played Halo, when I played a fuckload of Halo back in the day, when sprinting was added, totally against it. Couldn't, every day I was ranting about how much I hated it. I don't like sprinting in Halo multiplayer. Don't like it. Running on walls, COD, no, not a fan.
Someone said something about DMCA takedown notices from Nintendo.
No, there was something going on around that. I haven't done a bunch of. Huh? Have you looked it up? Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, this is that they're not above this. That's for sure. All right. Multiple streamers banned by Nintendo for playing Hyrule Warriors: Age of Calamity.
Oh, because it was released in their area, but not released. Get the fuck out of here.
That's what happened to me with Final Fantasy. Remember?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's not anything.
You just
that we
download
haven't
it
seen
with
before.
okay, so yeah, they're streaming from the area where it was already released and getting DMCA takedowns.
Yeah.
Like Final
That
Fantasy here came out like a week earlier. Like you can
There
walk
are
into the
there
shop
are
and
people
buy
in
it.
North America who will like use a VPN to like set their region to Australia and be able to download something like 16 hours before it comes
Do you
out
have
or whatever.
any idea, whenever I'm streaming an update for a game, because normally we get it ahead of time, do you have any idea how many fucking people come in and go, oh my God, how do you already have this?
Yeah.
Time zones, motherfucker.
Look at this
Yeah.
dude. This guy.
Yeah, that's him. That's probably one of those cunts that asked me how I already got the
pretty
characters.
much what I picture a Nintendo YouTuber looking like.
Basically.
Like if you said sketch one and I had the ability to draw, I'd pretty much just draw that dude.
I just want to put like a Papa John's pizza in the background with this face. But yeah, okay, all right. That makes sense. That's not unheard of, honestly.
Yeah. Nintendo has done things that are unheard of with some of their copyright claims on people, but that's not one of them.
Now, I did hear Hyrule Warriors getting shit fucking reviews.
It's like Omega Force has been making the same game over and over again since like Dynasty Warriors 2.
Here's the thing. If was it you, Mark, that brought this up, it might have been Andrew, and I see Andrew, and he's a big Zelda fan. Or I think it was you though that were talking about the expectations for.
I said that. I was like,
it you?
I think,
Okay.
Yeah, I said that. I think people were they were really marketing as like a prequel to Breath of the Wild. I felt like
it's not. I mean, it's not. I mean, it is in story, but this is not the same game. And the fact that people are going to be going into this expecting a Breath of the Wild style sequel, but it's going to be a Hyrule Warriors. It's going to disappoint people.
This got announced and then released both after they announced a sequel to Breath of the Wild was happening, which for the normies was probably super confusing because they like a year ago heard, oh, they're making Breath of the Wild 2, sweet. And then this game comes out and they probably bought it thinking that this was Breath of the Wild 2. Especially when all the reviews are like, oh yeah, prequel to Breath of the Wild. It's like, oh, I guess Breath of the Wild 2 is a prequel, and they're just calling it Age of Calamity. Cool. And then they're like, wait, hold on, why am I playing this? They probably wouldn't have the context of knowing that it's just a Dynasty Warriors game. But why am I playing this? Why am I fighting against this big army? And why is this game so repetitive?
Yes.
I love this. I love this review. 60, the best Dynasty Warriors style game ever made, which means it's slightly north of mediocre.
Yeah. I mean, I did not like Hyrule Warriors at all. It did.
Like,
go ahead.
Those games are okay. Like they're kind of fun playing them for a bit, but just if you try to play one for like more than an hour, it's just like, oh, okay. Like, I mean, I was saying that for a while I was working on Berserk, the Band of the Hawk, which is like an Omega Force Dynasty Warriors type game based on Berserk, which is like my favorite fiction property ever. And I love the story in the world so much that I wanted to get through it, but just I got about 6 hours in. It was like, oh my God, I don't think I can play this game anymore. It's just another big open battlefield with a whole bunch of super easy to kill enemies. And I'm just hacking and slashing away until there's like a boss character that's just slightly more difficult. And then I kill him and then it's on to the next mission.
There you go. Yeah, so that's the saga there. We do have a $2 super chat from Revan for $2. Says Jeremy now gets the rights to my wife after that. Well, considering you never showed me any pictures of her, she's probably ugly as fuck.
Just trying to get rid of her.
Yeah, you're just trying to give them away.
Yeah.
But that,
I retract.
Go, Jeremy.
I retract my previous statement. So I don't want any part of this. Ryan can have it.
Yes. All right. Now that goes for the title stuff. Was there any one or two topics that you guys wanted to talk about before we start talking about what we've played this week? start with Mark.
I guess we got that audible call with the Facebook chat that I sent you the image.
Oh yeah, that's a pretty quick. I don't really know any information about this.
Rotaku is reporting this, but apparently there's a Red Dead Redemption The Outlaws collection, which is not only Red Dead Redemption 2, but the original Red Dead Redemption is leaked on Amazon. I'm not sure which region. That's a screen cap too. It's not a URL, so this might be something that's Photoshop, like just couching that. But that'd be pretty cool because it's. I
imagine it's American if it's $70.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm just saying that because this isn't a URL, it's like a screen cap from Amazon. Theoretically, this could be just a Photoshop that I fell for. But I thought it was pretty cool because Red Dead Redemption, the original, has sort of been stuck on PS3 and kind of on Xbox 360. But the Xbox 360 version you can play on Xbox One X, and they actually upscaled it to 4K, so it looks quite good. But I think it would be really cool if people were able to play the original Red Dead Redemption as well. And please release it on PC.
There you go. Yeah, that will be interesting. There's a lot of love out there for Red Dead Redemption 2 and the original one. And Call of Juarez. But thank you, Mark. Lethal, you got anything you want to talk? You want to talk about Marvel's Avengers real quick? Some positive news for it?
Oh yeah, me and Young Ripper, the only two people that are playing the game. We're going to be fucking stoked. Kate Bishop, don't care for the character in the slightest. She looks like she's fun to play, and they did tease some of the new content they're coming, which has the future, and they're bringing in Future Hulk as well. So yeah, looks like they're actually doing stuff. I think they're trying to go with the Battlefront 2 route and just go forward.
just keep going after all the
we're already committed.
It's lost millions of dollars so far for Square Enix, so they need to turn it around and make it profitable. So
yeah,
I don't know how they're going to do it when everything's coming at us for free.
I think one of the things they need to do is give Sony their money back and be like, look, we have to release PlayStation Spider-Man on all the platforms so that people buy it somewhere other than PlayStation. Because I honestly think a lot of people, like maybe even me, even though I think the beta probably would have turned me off in general, but it's just if the prospect of buying either the PC or the Xbox version of that game is just like, yeah, well, I mean, I'm never going to be able to play a Spider-Man on this one. So that's like a real major character that's just not even like I'm buying the bad version of the game and it's the same price. So screw this game. Like I honestly think a lot of people said that.
There you go.
Combat Pack 2 for Mortal Kombat's pretty cool as well. That was fun. They gave us Melina, Rambo, and Rain.
Oh, Melina gave into those toxic man babies, didn't they?
Yeah, I know. God damn them. Motherfuckers.
What about you, Jeremy? Anything Nintendo related?
I just want to play Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War.
That's what I thought. And that's all that Jeremy has been playing this week. Lethal, what have you been playing?
Black Ops, obviously. Avengers, Mortal Kombat.
Fucking Avengers.
Yeah, I'm telling you, me and Young Ripper were the only two people that play it. And Black Ops, that's it.
Mark, what about you? What are your fucking delve deep into the indie games Mark's been playing?
Well, I acquired a PS5, so
how?
I bought it off a scalper for $150 over list, which I thought was pretty reasonable, to be honest. Most of the prices in the area that I was in were $400 over list. So I saw one on Facebook Marketplace that was $150 above, and I was like, that's actually not bad.
Are you sure it's not like a PS4 with a PS1 tape?
Either way, it's running Ghost of Tsushima at 60 frames a second perfectly, so I don't give a shit if it is. But and also the $150 above was like not factoring in the tax, so realistically it was probably only like $80 above what I would have spent otherwise. So I don't really regret it. So I've been playing Demon's Souls, 2 bosses deep, just beat the Tower Knight. Obviously I've been playing a lot of Cold War because I just finished up the review. I've dabbled with Ghost of Tsushima quite a bit. I'm going to try to push through it. I don't know if I'm going to be able to squeeze in like a full review of it before the end of the year, but I would like to do an actual review of Ghost of Tsushima for the channel. It just might be a little bit late. It'll look good though. And then Hades, which I was mentioning earlier.
Mark's campaign review for Cold War will be out probably tonight. We'll probably release it tonight here on the main channel. So be on the lookout for that. Make sure you got notifications turned on for the channel. So it comes down to the fact that it takes us about 8 hours to download it once he sends it over. Lethal has to shut down the entire Australian internet.
My
I
original
gotta go
files
like
are,
knock on my neighbor's door and be like, "Hey, just a heads up."
my full uncompressed files are usually between like 8 and 12 gigabytes. So like they get compressed by YouTube a lot.
He says it like that's fucking normal.
Well, I mean, for like I
For his
like,
videos, it is. I've been fucking uploading his fucking videos for a year now. Yeah, it's annoying.
And Neil Valentine actually just mentioned the other thing. I did pick up Miles Morales. I haven't started it yet, so I can't really say anything about it. But I actually might review that next because I hear it's pretty short, so I could likely get through it pretty quickly.
That's true. And you can enjoy what it feels like to play with the swagger of a young black teen.
To jump off the building and then look back at the camera with the swagger of a young black teen and give myself goosebumps because I'm
That's
much
all right,
not
because
racist.
the reviewer was black, so it's all right.
Oh, okay. Then I guess I am racist.
I've been told this is a clip of Jeremy. Minority Home put on Twitter. Let's see what this is.
Oh god, myself robot knife arms and stuff. And
Do you have a robot knife arm?
a gentleman never asks and a lady never tells me.
Which
Not
one
my
are you?
country.
That's a joke.
That would make you the lady.
You hitting on me?
Yeah, and I'm the one who doesn't get jokes, right? People, come on.
Jeremy's fucking muted, but he's just fucking talking shit. Fucking dumbass.
Well, it's because these fucking assholes are out here doing work. I'm a goddamn internet celebrity, and you motherfuckers are ruining my shit.
Somebody's gonna clip that.
I need that. I'm gonna use that.
There you go.
I see Park hopping in the chat that says release the drunk 3PO Mario Kart cut. I actually have a.
Doesn't exist.
Look at here. Look at there. What is that? Well, as we can see now, I'm rewinding it right now to get to to where you start on the last lap. So I was rewinding it a little bit. There's you with the bullet and everything.
It was lightning. All
so
right.
yeah, so there's where you get the bullet. This is on the last lap, and this is where you get the bullet. And lightning hit. You can see it's dark. So lightning it just hit. And you're surrounded with everybody's got to start, so you're definitely in the back. And you're just cruising. And right there's Krista. You pass Krista, and right here's where you pass me. So I slow it down. You'll see me in the air right here, right there. You see me?
Yeah.
Pass me right there. Okay, and then I have a red shell. So I hit Andrew, who was in the lead. You passed Andrew, hit Andrew, who was in second. And then this is where I'm like, I got him because I hit you with a red shell. Like, I got him.
I'm so excited.
He went, I'm going to lead. I'm going
I love
to
those
win.
little
And then I was like,
platoon
no, he's
characters
not.
on
No,
this.
he's not.
Yeah, here I go. This is where I get hit. I start screaming. I'm like, no.
And then here I come around the corner. Tugs is right there, too. That's Tugs. And then this is where you're like, we're banging on each other. We're banging on each other.
That's it. We're hitting.
Now,
My biggest thing was I didn't want to fall off.
Let me go to that part
like,
where he said we're
like,
banging on each other. You said it when in your commentary when you were
Right here.
But here we go right here.
I have a bullet. I'm gonna do it.
Yes,
No, you're not. I just took him out.
No, why? Someone hit Jeremy, please. We're banging each other in the front. We're banging. He's not gonna get the double block.
Stop saying
Look how happy Ryan gets.
I hit Jeremy. No, I hit Jeremy. It's gonna happen.
Did he win? Did he win, Jay? Jay won!
Ryan was so excited.
I was. He beat your ass. So, there it is. That's about as released as it's gonna get, I guess. Is it ever gonna go public, or is it always gonna remain in the Zack Snyder vault?
It's so funny to keep it locked away, and so we'll see. Might do it.
It's only 4 minutes of additional footage.
Only 4 minutes of new footage. Yes, that's what I heard on Fan Wire or something. But and what have I been playing? I've been playing Call of Duty Black Ops. I've been playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which I think the game's fine. It's just it's really, once you've been spoiled with Ghost of Tsushima combat in that kind of world, and then you go back to Assassin's Creed, it's just kind of a little bit of a disappointment. But it's selling really well, evidently. So I guess a lot of people do like it. But we do thank you guys for being here, as always, on the Game with Geeks podcast.
Yeah, Park Hoppin's about to go live.
Oh, is the link ready?
So,
Let me get it.
Yeah, Park Hoppin's about to go live, so you guys go join them for their live stream. I might hop in. I've got some stuff I've got to do, so I can't promise I'll be there. But please go support Park Hoppin, support Jay Tugs over there, and everything that we're doing at Park Hoppin, because we've got some good stuff in the works too. So I'm looking forward to the future of that. So good stuff all the way around.
Park Hoppin stream.
Well, let's see. He's got it. Yeah, it's right there. They just put it.
Okay.
So
right,
link right there by Park Hoppin. So you guys go over there, support Park Hoppin, support Geeks and Gamers. We're going to have a lot going on. Make sure you follow us on Twitch for our gaming streams. And that's about it.
Christian for $2. Unpopular opinion. Last of Us 2 deserves all noms. I agree. That is unpopular.
Well, it's unpopular from a gamer standpoint,
from
but
a normal people standpoint.
If you're part of the mainstream, that's a very popular opinion.
Yeah, and I don't know if you mean all 10 that it got or all 30 that it could have possibly gotten. But that's just like your opinion, man.
If you like it, you like it. Yeah.
What's that?
If you like it, you like it.
Yeah, it's true. It's divisive as fuck. There's some people that love it. There's a lot of fucking people that hate that shit. So it is what it is. Thanks for being here. We will talk to you guys next time. Peace.